Welcome to the channel. We're the MMA guys. Today we're going to be matchmaking every division from flyweight to heavyweight. And so this is going to be hypothetical matchups. So for it to be eligible to be on the list, they need to not be a part of they need to not be currently booked. And so this is our favorite matchup for every division. Let's just jump into it.
Let's get into it.
First division, we have the flyweight division. The first matchup we have is Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Moreno as a title eliminator. What do you think of this fight?
I just want to point out first that Tyra's ribcage is completely nasty, man. There's some juice in that. Who do I have? Moreno. I feel like Moreno could get that win. I don't even know now that I'm mentioning it. Moreno's getting old, but Moreno's still at the top level. Tyra, I don't think he has the striking necessary right now to beat Moreno. The way Moreno performed against Pantoja, he can nullify grappling pretty easily. Well, easily. I mean, against Tyra, it's a different level. You know, the Japanese, man. I don't know if you've seen these guys climb as well, man. They just move different. The Japanese guy moved different, but I feel like it's a Moreno fight. What about you, man?
So, what I like about this matchup a lot is that we've talked a lot about Moreno. Moreno has incredible grappling and everything, and he really does. He shows great grappling every time he grapples, but he often ends up in striking fights. He doesn't really use it, and so it will be nice to see him fight against a predominant grappler who's not just someone who imposes it. Well, he does impose his will a lot, but against Pantoja, it's kind of a war. Meanwhile, I feel like against Tatsuro Taira, we'll really see Moreno's grappling shine in the defensive, and as well see how he's able to do. I think Tatsuro Taira in his prime off a good win. Before that, he beat Royval, who just got a win over Moreno in a weird fight. So I'm thinking this would really give us who the number one contender the next fight for the title should be. And yeah, this is I would pick I'd go Moreno, but in a very close fight, I think Tatsuro Taira definitely could pull it off, but I'll go Moreno. I go Moreno, especially in a 5-rounder.
Nice.
Next fight,
Charles Johnson, Steve Erceg. Give me Charles Johnson every day of the week and twice on Sunday, baby. Give me that. Charles Johnson is the greatest, man. Charles Johnson is a threat to every 25 on the planet. And I do not hold back any words, man. This is a fact. The way he beat Joshua Van, the way he beat Kavanaugh. Come on, man. This guy's going to sleep Erceg in round number 2. And that's what I'm talking about.
I think the Steve Erceg. So with Steve Erceg, he showed really good performance in which he lost to Pantoja, which was a weird situation. Then he got dominated a bit on the feet by Moreno, but he still, held his own somewhat. Then he got a win. He finally got a win, but it was in a weird fight where he got dropped against Ode Osborne. I think Erceg needs to solidify his place in the rankings, and I'm thinking Charles Johnson is the perfect matchup to do that.
But Charles Johnson needs to show up. This is not a matchup he can not show up at. You know what I mean? Because Charles Johnson has this kind of who am I going to compare it to? The Ends of Stone, Ends of Stone type of guy.
Geoff Neal.
Yeah, Geoff Neal, exactly. But he's actually better than Geoff Neal is in his own division. You know what I mean? But he kind of shows up like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show up, man. But when he shows up to get the paycheck, that's the greatest 25er, man. That's the top 5 25er we have there. So
for sure, Charles Johnson underrated. He's beating these prospects that everyone thinks are going to become world beaters, and Charles Johnson just puts an end to that real quick. Just beat Leonard Kavanaugh. Before that, he beat Azat Maksum, who was an undefeated Kazakhstan fighter who's off a win. Oh no, I think he lost to Tegir Ulanbekov in a very close fight. But Charles Johnson beat him more dominantly. I mean, Charles Johnson is a real problem, and I do see him having success in a fight against Steve Erceg. Steve Erceg has great striking as well, so yeah, I think that would be a great
matchup.
for sure, and like a feature fight for a co-main event in a fight night or something like that. Now, we'll go to the bantamweight division, and so in this one, you're gonna start us off.
O'Smalley against Yadong, man. I got Song Yadong, man. He's gonna get donged. O'Malley's about to get donged, my friend. Honestly, I really feel like this is a great matchup, though. I think the striking. I think this is the greatest striking fight we can have at bantamweight. You know, we have Umar and Yan. Oh yeah, we can match up then. Now we can't match up these. All right, Yan and Merab. My brother's gonna get right into it afterwards. So we have Sean O'Malley against Yadong. Yadong is going to beat Sean O'Malley, but it could be a very great striking clinic. And I don't really know what to say about this fight. I just feel like we need to see it. That's literally the fight we need, not Cody Garbrandt, man. We don't need this fight. So you can go ahead and dive deep into it.
Yeah. So we have Song Yadong, who's off. What was Song Yadong's last fight?
Henry Cejudo.
He beat Henry Cejudo. Was beating Henry Cejudo.
Punch him in around, man.
For sure. And then we have O'Malley, who's off 2 losses. Before that, he had beaten Aljo, was it? Or no, he beat Cheeto before that, you know? So his last 3 fights have been him losing twice, getting finished, submitted in his last fight, and then before that was putting a striking clinic on Cheeto.
Yeah.
Now we have an actual fighter whose Song Yadong is the perfect top 5 fight to know you're a real one or not. And I think Sean O'Malley, despite having been a champion, he's been fed fighters. He's been, Aljo was in some bad circumstances and that when that fight happened, had to cut right away after his fight against Cejudo.
Not only that, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you go, but Aljo, the stoppage was also a fake stoppage, by the way. You know what I mean? Fake stoppage. So the circumstances were not there. He became a fake champion. Then he beat a fake contender. He beat Cheeto. Nothing against Cheeto, but Cheeto was probably on mushroom that night. Like, listen, this is not the type of opponent we want to see Sean O'Malley face. You can go.
Mm-hmm. And then before he got his fight against Aljo, he also beat Yan in a robbery, in my personal opinion. This is my favorite fight to watch, and I've never scored it for Sean O'Malley. I don't think it's going to happen the next time I watch it. And so now this is the perfect matchup for him. This is where kind of see him, the kind of level we see him at. And I think it's a very pick-em fight. I would love to see that fight. Sean O'Malley has even talked about it on his own podcast. He said that he would absolutely take that fight. He thinks it's a good matchup, but nothing's official. We should make it official.
Yeah, big respect to O'Malley for asking for that fight. By the way, this is lights out power coming from Yadong, and Sean is ready for that. This is amazing. You can go right ahead with Merab Peter, man. What do you think about this?
So, this is a fight where some people think it's a boring matchup because, he 50-45 them. Here's the thing. Peter Yan got 50-45 by Merab, but he was not in the best. He wasn't best in terms of confidence. He was off losses, robbery by the UFC, and now he's on a 3-fight winning streak. 50-45ing Devason Figueiredo, beating Song Yadong at, was it you? No, it wasn't UFC 300, but he beat him. It was a big...
Beat him on one leg. He beat Song Yadong on one leg. That's what happened. He was injured that fight. Clearly compromised that fight, and he still managed to wait to beat Yadong and get the takedowns on the brick wall defense of Yadong. This is next level caliber we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm. Then he beat Marcus McGee, who right now is in Frank I, but I think Marcus McGee is really going to be a problem, except he's getting old. But I think this one's just going to age well for him. I think if someone's able to turn the table on Merab like this and go from getting 50-45 to winning, it's not Sean O'Malley in the rematch because he stopped jerking off. It's Peter Yan, who's a fighting computer.
Yeah. Peter Yan's the greatest, man.
Yeah. Peter Yan is probably his top 3 fighter for me.
Yeah.
And I really would love to see him get another crack at the belt. He's the most deserving contender, way more than Corey Sandhagen. It's just that Corey Sandhagen's a new matchup, so it's fine. But we need this. We need this now. Peter Yan rematch.
Oh, yeah.
And if he loses, then just give him good goatless matchups so that he does better on this one.
Yeah.
Now, next we have featherweight. So you can start us off in that.
All right, let's go to the featherweight division. Movsar Evloev against Diego Lopez, man. Diego Lopez coming off that slick knockout, but to me, it's a Movsar win. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, but Allen almost beat him. Yeah. Go watch that fight, buddy. Go watch the fight again and talk to me about it, okay? This was a Movsar masterclass, basically. That's literally what it is the whole time, except for the illegal knees. Oh, did you want illegal knees? Whatever, man. Whatever. I don't care about these knees. The knees were, it was weird, okay? So, it's a Movsar win for me. He already beat him. It was on short notice. Right now, Diego's confidence is high. Like, it's the highest it's ever been, probably, because the Gene Sabo win is amazing. But honestly, I really feel like Movsar gets the takedown every round, and he's just going to beat him. As simple as that. I think Movsar is the best 145er there is on the planet right now. So, I don't know about that Diego fight, but it'd be amazing. But it's a Evloev win for me.
So I think I also, before I give prediction, so Evloev is of great wins. He's beaten Allen, Aljo, were aging like, they both age like wine because they're both off a win since then. I think he's phenomenal. I think he should be the one fighting for the belt, but because of timing issues and everything, that's the reason why we can't match him up with the champ right now. It's probably going to be Lerone Murphy, which is still a cool stylistic matchup. But for this one, I think Lopez of Silva is stuck as the highest it's been. He said in his post-fight interview that he would be fine with fighting another fight before getting a title shot. Give him the Movsar rematch. This is perfect. He fought him in his UFC debut and on short notice. And the thing is that people are like, oh, well, now he's much better. He's probably going to beat him because he already was a tough out in that fight. The thing is that since then, Evloev's striking has gotten so much better. He was, in some rounds, and most of them, he was piecing up. He was beating Arnold Allen on the feet. We went close with Holloway. I think Movsar's striking is very underrated. He's a great fighter. His grappling is amazing. In a 5-rounder, I see him pushing a pace for longer. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. I think he's the second best featherweight currently, right below Volk. Because I'm big on Volk even then, but I think Evloev is the man.
Yeah, man.
And this is for sure a title eliminator. Those are the two best featherweight right now besides Volk, in my personal opinion.
Hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. All right, let's get back to Allen against Aljo. Let's get back to the big matchup, man. What a big sellout event this is. No, but let's still see that matchup. I think this is an amazing matchup. The way Allen was able to deal with Movsar's wrestling, for some people it was like, oh yeah, man, yeah, break wall, takedown defense. Listen, he got taken down every single round, whatever, controlled. But hey, it's still a great fight. It's still a great. I think it's a good thing for Allen to get that fight. I think it's gonna put him back in the mix, put him back in some confidence, put him back with a good win. I think his last performance was against Giga. Right?
Yeah.
Mistaken. It was a good performance. I like Allen, but we need someone like Aljo. I think Aljo brings in the grappling to another level, and if Allen can deal with that, then Allen can definitely get a super high opponent next, and maybe we can talk about a title shot afterwards. But that Aljo fight is going to be amazing if it happens. I think it's the most logical fight to make. Aljo coming off the Brian win. It's a good win, but it is what it is. You can go, man.
For sure. And who you got in that matchup?
I'm sorry. I got Aljo in that matchup, honestly. I really do have Aljo. I think Aljo can out-wrestle him. But, I think we can... I think we can see maybe a knockout from Allen as well. Aljo got a compromised chin, but it is what it is. I don't really know. The Lighterman skill is there. Though.
For sure. So for me in that matchup, I really love that matchup because I think Allen off a win against Giga, he needs to fight, back up in the rankings. He's number 6. Aljo's 5. It's perfect. But Aljo got that 5 from Brian Ortega. Who beat Yair, who's a kind of a wet towel.
T-City.
And so, it's one of those things where I think both need to get a very solid win to move to title contention. Yeah. I don't think Aljo, because he's 36 and because he's done a lot in the sport, should get a Walmart title shot. This is not how we do it in the UFC. It's the best fighting organization. You don't get wins of Brian Ortega. title shots of Brian Ortega in 2025. This is crazy, especially of that bad weight cut and everything. Outrageous. Give him a guy that's in his prime. Give him Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen, brick wall takedown defense. I know he got taken down by Movsar, but Movsar is the best wrestler in that division, without any doubt. I think Aljo, when he fights guys with brick wall takedown defense, like a guy like Allen, he seems to be more hesitant to grapple. He doesn't push the pace the same way Movsar does. Movsar doesn't care. He keeps grappling, and I feel like Aljo he stops. He doesn't impose his will the same way. His striking, he did good against Brian Ortega, and I see him having some success on the outside. But he has to be aware he's fighting a guy who has a lot more power than Brian Ortega. And he's faster, younger. I think I would favor Arnold Allen, but this is my favorite. This is one of my favorite fights in that division. From a pure stylistic matchup perspective, would be an awesome fight night or some kind of a feature fight on a pay-per-view, and I'm absolutely down for it. My pick would be, I would slightly lean toward Allen. Yeah, like I said. So
Perfect.
This is it.
This is a very solid take, man. Let's go to lightweight. The division. Let's fix the division, man. So, what do you want to talk about first? Where you want to go with this? I feel like we can go towards the Gaethje Hooker. Oh yeah, but Gaethje, man, he's a title shot. The Gaethje title shot idea is pure stupidity. This is out of the question. This is out of the calculations, man. Justin Gaethje, make him fight Dan Hooker, and then we can talk about retirement. It doesn't matter, but Justin Gaethje beat Rafael Fiziev on short notice for the second time. Guys, come on, man. What are we talking about? Justin Gaethje does not deserve a title shot. We have someone like Max Holloway who racked up another win against Dustin Poirier, who's a better fighter than Justin Gaethje, and he doesn't even get a title shot next, and it's normal. So let's forget about this Gaethje bullshit. It doesn't matter, all right? Dan Hooker, I think it's a phenomenal fight. I think it's a war, but I do think Gaethje would sleep Dan Hooker in that fight. Honestly, I really do believe that Gaethje would beat Dan Hooker, but it would be a late finish. The way Dan Hooker was able to perform against Dustin, and now Dan Hooker looks like he's better. Am I wrong?
I think he has more tools. I think he's lost a bit of he's left some of his chin in those fights, but I think he has more tools right now. He has good elbows, knees, more Muay Thai type of striking. I think that could cause a bit of problems. I see, honestly, in that fight, what I like is because Gaethje talking about a title shot this, title shot that, just because it's like the same thing as Aljo. It's because he's an old head. And so he needs a title shot before he retires, and he's done. Oh man, everything I've done for the sport. We don't care. If you're not the number one contender, you don't get title shots. That's that. There's nothing around it. Oh, but he's got 20 fight bonus. Man, he could have gotten 40. You're still fighting Dan Hooker, buddy. This is how we do it here. Dan Hooker off a win. He's in the top 5 right now. Gamrot fight. Gamrot's is a very solid win. It's a very, very solid win to get you within the top 5. That's good. Now, a fight with Gaethje, that fight was booked. It was very close odds-wise, and so people don't see it as people think it's going to be a great fight. And the way both of those guys fight, it's going to be a war. I would also favor Gaethje because I've seen some lack in the durability, and I also think Hooker is quite hittable. He has good. He could hit a knee, something like that, bloody up Gaethje with an elbow that lands or something. But I see, ultimately, I think Gaethje, third or fourth round TKO. That's TKO what I think.
As well, by finish, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the way he performed against Fiziev, we can hate on Gaethje because of his morals about the title shot thing, but whatever, man. He's still a good fighter, and I would love to see him in the UFC, but if he keeps acting this way, it's I don't know what he's doing. I really don't know what he's thinking about right now. This is bullshit. He beat Fiziev. He's good, and this is it's a phenomenal matchup. Sorry, against Hooker, and that's what it is, and that should be what it is
for sure. What do you think about Max against Paddy?
Max against Paddy, man. I think it's an amazing fight. I think Max all around 2 KO, man. Honestly, Paddy is so overrated, guys. Paddy just beat Michael Chandler. Oh yeah, man. But you see the way he controlled Michael Chandler, dude. Are you seeing the way Michael Chandler controlled Paddy, bro? Like, come on, man. This is bullshit. I feel like Paddy he's kind of like You know, O'Malley actually like had a good fight against someone crazy like Jan. You know what I mean? Like Paddy right now, he fought against Michael Chandler. People are acting like, oh yeah, man, Paddy the Baddy could cause a problem to everyone in the division. Dude, this guy has no credentials to a good. Like, what's the best Paddy fight we've seen? Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
It's Michael Chandler, dude. Max Holloway would sleep Michael Chandler in one round. Like the way he dropped Dustin, bro. Chandler's chin is getting out of here. Like, what are we talking about here? Paddy is not on the level of Max Holloway. And this is a perfect fight to show he's a little bit of a fraud, you know? I like him, you know, he brings the good energy. It's cool and whatever. Don't care, man. Max Holloway's better. Max Holloway's a BMF. And Max Holloway is top 3 fighter in the 155 right now. If he's not the number 1 contender, whatever. But, yeah, I feel like it's an easy Max win. Knockout. I feel like he takes the chin. You know, Scousers don't get knocked out. Well, yeah, you'll see against the Blessed, man. We'll see that. We'll see about that, buddy.
For sure. Go ahead, man. In that fight, I think it makes sense because, you know, the UFC...
The whole narrative makes sense for Paddy because he's a big sellout. But whatever.
And I think, you know, fighting Gaethje, it's kind of all right. But the thing is that Gaethje, he does have good takedown defense. If he gets taken down, that fight's over. And I think with Paddy's size, Justin getting older and everything, that could happen. I don't want to see him get a title shot off of that. We could see, you know... well, against Max Holloway, I don't think he's going to be able to take him down. And I think he's going to have to show the ends. If he wants to take him down, he's going to have to put some threats on in the ends because Max Holloway is very, very hard to take down. And if you get him down, he's extremely hard to control. It's not going to be the same as Michael Chandler being gassed after one round because he started grappling out of nowhere thinking he was some kind of IQ fighter, like a big grappler at some point. You know? Max Holloway has volume for days. He has, you know, he's knocked out Justin Gaethje, who doesn't get knocked out. He gets wobbled and bobbled sometimes, but he doesn't get knocked out. He took great shots from Fiziev, and
he was clipping Dustin as well.
Yeah,
he knocked him down twice in that fight. Once or twice.
Yeah, he knocked him down twice. I think twice, and he almost finished him once as well. So I'm thinking Max Holloway is the perfect fighter. But he's going to show levels to Paddy. So if the UFC wants Paddy to win his next fight, they better not do that matchup. But we want that matchup. It's a great fight. Give eyeballs to both of those fighters at the absolute upper echelon to give them a title shot next. Whoever wins this fight should get the next shot.
Absolutely.
For sure. So
big talker to Paddy, man. You want to fight against Ilya? All right, go fight against Max. You know, we'll see what happens against Max, and then you can take the next level. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about here.
For sure. And I really love that Max against Topuria rematch at 55.
It's an amazing match. It's an amazing fight as well. If Max beats Paddy with the whole narrative, he can definitely get a title shot off of that because just beating Poirier, who also had a title shot right before that, like it's a great win for Max, and it's a good win. It's a good path to the belt.
It's
absolutely
perfect. And honestly, now at that time, Topuria could get the BMF belt on top of everything. So that's a win-win for him.
Yeah.
Now, we have that matchup with Arman and Charles.
Because Fiziev pulled out again due to injury. Listen, Fiziev, man, like he's a good fighter and stuff, but this is it, man. This was the chance for him to break into the top 5, to break into that big conversation, talking about title shot. He kind of messed up, man. Got an injury. Probably not his problem, but it is what it is. Now we need to get the replacement. And who better than the man who Ilya Topuria is ducking, Arman Tsarukyan, to beat Charles again in a 5-rounder. Honestly, Charles Oliveira is my favorite fighter, but I don't want to see him get mauled. But that's what we need to see the greatest fight at 55 of all time. That's what we need. This is the only fight that makes sense. Arman Tsarukyan just fought at ABCJJ. Is that it? ABCJJ? ACBJJ, whatever it is. So he's in fight form. He just cut weight. I just saw his vlog like not too long ago. He cut weight. He can cut weight easily. He cut weight at 55 a month or 2 ago. This is super easy, and this should be exactly what the UFC has in plan, you know. This is what we need, and then Topuria can no longer duck the matchup talking about I won't Gaethje next, Paddy the Baddy. No. I'm sorry. No. This is Arman Tsarukyan night. This is Arman Tsarukyan fight, and this is Arman Tsarukyan's belt, man. Mark my words.
So for me, I think this is a great matchup. I think you don't want to see Charles fight a big power puncher, a guy who comes in there against an old Charles and just who could potentially get put out in front of his crowd at Rio. I think you put him against a great grappler who's gonna Arman. That's a great matchup for him because it's gonna showcase his skills on the ground. That's great. I think this is a perfect fight. This is the perfect time for this fight to happen. It's short notice for Arman, so it's not going to be like with a full training camp or anything. This fight's less than a month away. And then Charles, he's older, coming off a big KO loss in the first round. So you don't want to put him against a power puncher. He's going to be ready to grapple. He always phenomenal Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, always a threat to finish the fight at any point in front of his crowd. He's going to be hungry. And I think this is the perfect fight that could happen.
The narrative is perfect. Arman Tsarukyan gets his second fight against Charles on a 5-rounder, what we wanted to see, because the first fight was a 3-rounder. And, it left people, oh, yeah, but Charles almost won about 3 times in a fight. And I'm one of those guys. But, I feel like Arman would put a beating on Charles slightly. But that's Charles Oliveira right there. So you can't really count him on anything. And, I think it's perfect.
I think Charles has become more grappling offensive heavy. Normally he kind of reacts. He gets taken down. It's the guillotine, kind of those things. Meanwhile, now I feel like he's really like shooting, like hunting for takedowns, takedown against the cage and stuff like that. So that would be hard to do against Arman. But I still think he would come in with a heavy grappling approach and would be ready for those situations more than in the first fight. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. Now we're going to move to the next division. You're going to start us off with
the welterweight division, man. Let's go with Big B against Usman. Let's start this off with the greatest fight that welterweight can possibly make right now. This is an amazing fight, man. And I really feel like the Bully B would beat Usman. I think it's perfect for the narrative. And with the podcast thing going on between the two, I think they fought over their podcast. Bullshit like that, whatever it is. Big B, man. Big B got them hands. And I feel like Big B's boxing is even better than Usman. Usman's jab sucks, man. I just have to say it, but it's whatever, man. Big B can grapple Usman. But the takedown defense is there, When you see Usman beating, making easy work of someone like Buckley, and you see him performing the way he performed against Amzat, there's still questions about Usman. Is he really that man? Can he really finish off someone like, can he go up to the division and beat someone like JDM? I don't think so. But this is the perfect fight to show this. And Big B in his last fight, he tried to put up a war. Now stick to the game plan, grapple, and we'll see. This is a very, very high caliber matchup for the division. And I think it's amazing. And my pick would be Bully B. But I am absolutely not counting out Usman. I think it's a very tough and split decision for Bully B.
Yeah, so in that matchup, I think, like you said, I don't think Usman's jabs suck. I think it's the only part of his striking that's pretty good, even
it's slow, man.
To this day.
It's a slow poke.
But it's just that the rest of his striking, it just feels slow, everything. And I don't think the grappling would be there against Belal. Belal has great offensive wrestling, and he also has great takedown defense. He doesn't get taken down. He's a brick wall. I don't think the grappling will be there for Usman, so he'll have to be crafty and fight him on the feet. I just think Belal has some way better. I'm not gonna say he has like crazy hands, but he has a lot more volume. He imposes his will. In his last fight, he imposed his will, went forward, even against JDM when he was getting pieced up on a technical level in terms of boxing. But Usman is no JDM on the feet. And he doesn't have the boxing. He has some pop, though. So that's the part where I'm a bit, wary. But I think Belal wins this fight, but I don't think a split decision. I think I see him taking it 49-46 or... Yeah, 49-46. I don't think he's
like
gonna...
a dominant win?
I think he's gonna just volume max on him.
Yeah, it might. That might happen. That really might happen. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And I think that should be a fight for the next title shot as well. One of those two. So you can start us off on the Brady versus Gary if you want.
Brady, Brady for the win. Brady any day. Brady by whatever he wants, except on the feet. So that's gonna be a submission by Brady. I really feel like he's so much stronger than Gary. Gary's a big threat on the feet. Let's not forget that he has phenomenal striking. But Gary cannot put out anyone, man. That's what the truth is. So Brady. Oh, you're gonna respect the hand. This is kind of like it's not a Leon level where I'm like, oh yeah, Brady's gonna rush in and take him down. I don't feel like he can find the takedown as easy as he did against Leon. But I do believe that Brady can ultimately get the takedown, and I think one is enough for Brady, man. I really feel like he's gonna get that sub easily, man. The little vegetarian, man, he's not strong, man. Let's be honest.
For sure.
He's a weakling. He's a weakling on the ground. Oh yeah, but he had Shafkat like in body triangle. Yeah, and when Shafkat wanted to get out, bro, he took his hand and he got out, man. Super easily reversed the position. This is not an eye level grappler. This is a striker that's trying to grapple nowadays, and I don't understand Ian Gary's style that much because he's going way too much like he's sticking to the game plan, and it always fires back at him in some way. You know, against Prates when he gets completely crawled up against the cage, like he was on four legs, whatever. I feel like it's a genuinely, it's an easy fight for Brady. I think so. I think it's an early finish. And, yeah, that's what I believe.
I think, well, first thing I think is that in this video, I seen Bedtime MMA in his YouTube channel. In his description, he says he's the best UFC matchmaker. I think in this video, we're taking that spot. And for this one,
Hell yeah.
Brady versus Gary. Brady versus Gary, I think it's a great fight. Two guys in their prime. I think Brady fought Leon Edwards. It was a bit easier to take down. He doesn't move as much. He's more of a, pity pat striker.
It's a sniper, man.
Sniper, yeah, man. Leon's a monster. But Gary's fast. He moves a lot. He's going to be hard to take down. I just think in the end, once Brady gets in on a shot, and he always does with his hands. He has like fast hands with no pop, but he has these fast hands that he used to set up the grappling. And I really see him be able to, use that to his advantage, get in, block the ends. And I think that once that's done, Gary doesn't have the same level of strength. He's gotten those positions in a slick grappler way in the fight against Michael Venom Page, where he had him on his back, almost got the rear naked choke. Same thing with Shafkat. But even when he's in those positions, I feel like those guys are able to overpower him. He's never submitted anyone, and that's the part that people don't think about. He gets those positions where he's sinking in the choke, and those guys, they're just able to power through it. I think that shows me that there's a lack of physical strength, I don't think you put Brady in that position with Shafkat. I think he finishes that fight. You put him against Michael Venom Page, he finishes that fight as well. Especially in the first round like that, where they're not super slippery with Venom Page. And I just think Brady's going to he's going to be a lot denser, a lot stronger. He's able to push a pace. And I think once he's on the ground, he's going to be a real problem. My thing is that if he's unable to finish the fight on the ground, Gary's very, defensively sound on the ground. I do see him getting more tired because I think he will have to work hard to get those takedown, and then it'll get more slippery. So it's going to be tricky. I do see Brady by split decision. I'm big on Brady, and I see him winning that fight in the end.
Good. Let's go to 85 now. So, first matchup we can go through. Rob Whittaker, Caio Borralho. Who do I have in this fight? I'm going to pick Caio Borralho. I really don't know who wins that fight, to be honest. I think it's a great stylistic matchup. But the way Borralho was able to land some good boxing on Imavov, I think Rob is getting old, man. I really feel like Rob's age is catching up, man. The stamina is no longer there. The hunger is no longer there as well. I feel like a young guy like Borralho, that's the only way I can really argument this way. I don't really see Caio taking down Rob as well. I think Caio's entry kind of sucks, to be honest with you. He's never been able to take down a very high caliber opponent. So, yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a good old decision against Rob. I like that fight because of the matchup, because of the little intensity, good face-offs in there. But I don't know. You can go, man.
Yeah, I think it's a carroty striking, type of footwork that they both have, that they both bring to the table there. I think that's a good fight. Um, I would say the way that I see this fight that could potentially go to the ground for Baralio is with those trips that he was trying to hit Imavov, but he hit them so many times in that fight that I think like people are gonna start being wary of them. They're gonna be preparing for those. They know that it's a part of his arsenal now. I think it's a great fight. What I will say is that if it's a 5 rounder, I would favor Boralho because I think Whitaker. One of the thing that I saw with his age that got worse over time, it's really his cardio. I feel like his conditioning. He's unable to be a 5 round fighter at this point in his career. And so if it's a 3 rounder, I think he can push a great pace like he did against Paulo Costa. That was a solid fight. He had good volume in that fight. And I think that would be a fire matchup. In a 5 rounder, will have to pace himself. I think Caio has a power advantage on him, and I see him winning that fight. So that's big. But even in a 3 rounder, if Robert Whitaker against Reynor de Ritter was a 3 rounder, I'm pretty sure would have won that fight. But I'm a little bit I'm close on this one, but I will go Boralho more than I think Boralho can win that fight. He had a solid performance against Imavov despite the 50-45 scorecard. It was more so a 49-46, and it was very close to being a 48-47. It's a close fight. He showed up, and I think this is a phenomenal matchup where I will favor him to win and stay up the rankings to one fight away from a title shot.
Very valid. Paulo Costa against Michael Venom Page, man. Venom Page needs to stop running. This guy does 3 jabs. He gets back to the fence, start doing a little emote, Fortnite type of stuff. Yeah, man. Let's give the round to MVP, man. What an amazing striker he is. All right, bro. I think that stops against Paulo Costa. To be honest with you, I feel like Paulo Costa is the man that is going to stop this. I think people are starting to get the meta now. You fake the takedown. You get him to get a little bit of grappling in there. Cannonier could have won that fight. Honestly, if Cannonier had pushed the grappling pace on MVP, I think he could have get the takedown. MVP, MVP strong, MVP's this, whatever, man. I feel like it's a Costa win for me. Yeah, I just favor Costa to win that fight. I don't really know how to explain it. I feel like he's just going to nullify. Because at this point, how do you beat MVP? Well, you just have to nullify MVP, kind of, because the striking is really... There's nothing lethal that's gonna be thrown from MVP to Costa. It's not gonna. There's no way MVP TKOs Costa. I don't think that's gonna be happening here. And I just feel like Costa can 1-2 it on the fight MVP, or just put a little bit. He can fence grab a little bit. Not fence grab. I mean fence, like push him against the fence and put a little bit of that grappling in there. I feel like he's much stronger than him, so he should take advantage of that and finally derail MVP off of these big wins, because MVP is not getting anywhere near the title, guys. It's useless for MVP to be good in the UFC. I don't think he's an entertaining fighter. That's the only reason he's there, and he keeps winning fights in a way that's like, okay, like good win, buddy, but like except against Allen. I mean, Allen, it was a good performance, but I'm really not a big fan of MVP, to be honest with you. He has good striking, good point striking, but yeah, I just prefer Costa's chances of winning that fight. What about you, man?
So I think this is a great fight. I think, there's something to be addressed here because I matched up Michael Venom Page down the rankings despite him being number 9, beating Cannonier, who's now number 10, and Costa's number 13. But here's the thing. We have Cannonier, was on a 2-fight losing streak. 2-fight losing streak? At least. Yeah, 2-fight. Oh, no. He beat Robocop, I think, in between. But Robocop was unranked. He got 2 ranked losses, won an unranked fight, and then he lost to Michael Venom Page. He was 41 years old. We have Costa, who just beat a guy in his prime, a good striker of a crazy win streak. Well, he did lose to Hernandez, but Kopylov was a great striker, showed level, and then we saw the Costa of old, just imposing his will, walking him down. We need a matchup like that for Michael Venom Page. And I've already matched up Whitaker with Boralho, which I think is a great fight. So the other fight in that division where I see he can fight a guy that's somewhat in his prime, is who's going to impose his will, And I think Costa. I think this is the perfect matchup to show for MVP to show that he's actually legit in that division. You know, he's beaten Char Bullet when life ended with Marc-Andre Barrio.
Powerball.
Yeah, and then he beat a 41-year-old Jared Cannonier. What is this? No. We're gonna match him up with someone who's actually worthy of being in those rankings, able to get him, somewhat close to like title contention. It's not so clear if this guy wants to fight for a title or if he just wants to win these fights here and there and look, emote on people. But this is a fight that he might emote a little bit and then get put down. So I really want to see that fight. I think it's cool, and I would favor Costa to win. I think in a 3-rounder, if it's a fight night, I think definitely Costa. If it's although Costa does gasses a bit, so ideally would be a 3-rounder, and I would say still Costa. I think Costa got him. I think might put him down. Might be able. He's a way better grappler than than Cannonier, so I could see him win this way as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect take, man. Now, Hernandez against Dricus, the goofball, Duplessis. So, who gets this fight, man? I feel like Fluffy gets this fight. I don't know about you. I feel like Fluffy he might get the submission. He really might get the submission, dude. But Dricus is a tough customer. He's a tough cookie. But Dricus, you guys, there's something about Dricus we need to discuss, right? Beat Robert Whittaker, beat Adesanya, beat Sean Strickland twice, man. You beat Sean Strickland twice, dude? Yeah. Sean Strickland and Adesanya. That's the title reign we have for Dricus Duplessis. This is no Borralho. This is not Imavov. This is not Fluffy. This is not Costa. These guys, there's another wave of middleweight coming up that's better than the old heads of the middleweight that, Dricus kind of ate alive, but it is what it is. Imavov had a better performance against Izzy than Dricus had against Izzy, which should put Imavov above Izzy because they're the same type of fighter. Light footwork, good striking. At the end of the day, guys, I feel like Fluffy gets a submission round 2 or round 3. It doesn't matter. You can go, man.
I think I'm very big on Dricus Duplessis. I think people saw him lose to Hamzat, and now they're like, oh, well, this guy, he looked goofy. And that's true. He did look goofy. He didn't have the best brick wall takedown defense and everything, despite the old Gracie Barra submission thing. Here's my thing, though. I believe in Dricus Duplessis. I believe in his adaptability. I think Hamzat is just, that was an unstoppable force meeting a immovable object, and turns out the object's actually kind of movable. But I think in this matchup, he's going to be a lot denser, even though Dolidze was also a very big 85er. I just think Dricus has more pop, he's faster, he's able to push a pace. I think this is a make or break matchup for Hernandez, who was a huge favorite against a guy like Rainer the Ritter, which is crazy to me. So I think people probably look at this matchup and think that it's a he's just fighting a tough cookie and he's gonna get through him. In my opinion, I would pick Dricus to go in a decision. I would go Dricus to win a split decision, but he could very well get ragdoll. I think the takedown defense might get better and even hold up a little bit. But I see him fighting through adversity and getting the win in the end.
All right. Very respectable take as well. Dricus is a great fighter. I was just, I put things into perspective, but yeah, I just feel like Fluffy is better than Dricus.
His stock is very high right now.
Yeah, it's a speculative stock. Mm-hmm. Light heavyweight, that's what we got for you guys. Yeah, right now currently Magomed is training for Lucas. So with Lucas, sorry. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we don't have any news for you. You have something for light heavyweight. I think everything is matched already. Yeah,
I saw Lucas posting on his Twitter about the training with Hank, so that's good.
Yeah,
we know that Hank is kickboxing. Got that old rusty kickboxing background from Lucas, so we know he's ready for that Pereira kickboxing as well. So that's good to know.
I've seen the sparring footage as well. I've seen a little bit of Lucas moving around and stuff, and he's evading a lot of shots. I didn't really see him get rocked with a big one, so yeah. I think it's going to be a good fight against Pereira as well. who's probably right now like drinking poison in his Brazilian tribe or whatever. But yeah, doing something good like this.
I was thinking of putting Volkan Ozdemir against Shock Little, but I think it's a bit old for that matchup. And honestly, everyone's booked. That's the thing. We have Yuri against Khalil, who's booked, and we have Pereira against Magomed. Everything else is kind of at light heavyweight.
You don't really care, you know. Oh, Johnny Walker coming out the big. Yeah, we don't care, man. All right, heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's
we
what we
have
got
this
for
matchup. So here's the thing. At heavyweight, Tom Aspinall's booked against... who is he? Oh, he's booked against Cyril Gane. Yeah, he's booked against Cyril Gane.
LeBron James, man.
And the LeBron James of MMA. So that's going to be a cool one. That's
And
very
Almeida's
close.
matched up too. Almeida's matched up against Volkov, you know.
On the
so,
same card. And those are the only 4 heavyweights we care about. There's Curtis Blade, who's kind of cool as well, ish. We could match him up with Pavlovich. I think that could be fine. I could have put that there, actually. Who would you favor in a fight? I think Curtis Blade versus Pavlovich already happened. I think got KO'd.
It happened.
Yeah, he got KO'd in that fight.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I think that'll be it for today, guys.
So that's it. Yep. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking on the video. And like, follow, comment as well. And until next time, guys.